Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and this is a more special reaction compared to most. This is a one-time only reaction to the series finale of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Um, I think I'm actually watching this I'm watching the second half of this a week late. I actually watched the first half of it the week it actually officially aired, which was last week. So like tiny like halfway late to like the official end of the party, but still I'm here. I'm here. And originally I wasn't really gonna react to this final season at all. I was just gonna enjoy it in at my own leisure and everything. But yeah, I think this final season is also, I think, surprisingly like shorter as well compared to, I think, at least compared to like season 1 to 6 perhaps. I think season 7 was around the same kind of length, but yeah, I was just gonna enjoy like pretty much this whole final season at my own pace in my own time and just gonna enjoy it as it came out. I wasn't really planning on doing any reactions. But then the finale came around and I watched the first half because I think it was like a double bill kind of release thing, where the episodes actually aired back to back, but then it was also like promoted as I think like an actual 1 hour kind of finale with the two episodes being back to back and everything. But yeah, this is the official end. This is the official end of the ride. This is the last ever episode. It's the last ever episode. But yeah, I have not been ready for this. I mean, I was somewhat more ready going into it, like going into part one and into the first of these two episodes. Kind of like knowing I was actually free to watch it, like within my own comfort zone. But then that episode was so good, I was like, okay, it would be criminal for me to not react to the part two, to the actual second portion of this finale. So yeah, I've had one of the most kind of heartwarming and heartbreaking and just like emotional, but both positively and kind of more, I guess, negatively, for lack of a better term, emotional kind of joyrides watching this show. It has been nothing short of a pleasure and nothing short of just one of the best kind of rides I've had with the TV show in general. And I actually did. I don't know how many of you will actually remember. I actually did try to react to season 7 when season 7 premiered. I actually did try and do a reaction for that one. I actually, did say, "Oh, I'm actually gonna start reacting to the show now." And I think season 7 or season 6. I think it might have been I think the one that started with Holt like losing his job. I think Holt was on the verge of actually losing his job. I think losing out on being the captain of the Nine or like the president. I think it was on Rosa, not Rosa, Amy and Jake's honeymoon. Amy and Jake's honeymoon, and then Holt kind of hitched a ride with them, and he was just depressed the entire time. Like that opening premiere, like that season, that opening premiere. I actually reacted to that episode and put it up, and it actually stayed up for like 2 days, and then got straight like hit with a copyright thing, and I was way too nervous to actually continue doing any more in case it escalated into something bigger. So I was like, okay, you know what, fine, I'll just leave this for my downtime. Anyway, so that happened, and then yeah, now fast forward to now, I decided, you know what, I don't care, like no matter what happens, I am gonna react to this very very final episode and to this kind of finale. I think again, it wasn't until I watched the first part of this finale that I was like, okay, I gotta react to the second one. I have to react. I have to get my emotions. I have to share these feels, and I have to, I have to do something. I have to do something. So it's here. I would go. I mean, I may well go into like a fully blown kind of some kind of like ramble or rant as to what Brooklyn Nine-Nine means to me, and like how much I've loved the show over the years, and what it's done and what it's accomplished and everything, and stuff. And I think that I'm probably gonna leave that for the review, because right now, just needing to get into this episode, actually finally finishing this journey and actually seeing how it all ends is somewhat more of a priority right now. But yeah, we've had a pretty heavy kind of start to this season too. With I mean, the cold open alone was like the whole COVID thing and social distancing and masks everything else, and then of course Rosa revealing that she was actually kind of going to leave the 9-9, and then she actually became a PI. So all that stuff, all the BLM stuff going on, police brutality, and all I mean, they did say that this final season would cover that stuff as authentically and as kind of thoroughly and as like in a way that would be thought provoking and reflective, and in a way that would actually challenge these characters and challenge the story and everything. So far, I think it's actually been I think some people have called it on the nose, as they will, but for me, I think it's you can't really avoid not only can you not avoid it with a show like this, but I think the way they've done it in this is exactly how you'd expect a setting and a kind of a team like this to actually handle it. So I think everything they've done so far seems fairly accurate to how you'd expect them to handle it and how you'd expect them to approach a topic like this. And it's pretty much I think it's not the first time they've done this. I think it's especially the mid to later seasons of the show are just rife with them actually introducing various different real world topics and real life experiences, and actually fleshing them out and actually kind of showcasing them in authentic and very, very relatable kind of ways, which is one of the things that makes this show so great. So yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine has done a lot of things right. It's done a lot of things right. I think there might be other things that people kind of might argue that they could have also explored, but I think for what they've accomplished so far alone is in and of itself, it's just a huge feat. So yeah, and they are also going out on their own terms too. I mean, yeah, again, I'll get to that stuff later on in the review, but this is also their choice to end on the seventh and final season. So, or no, this is season 8, isn't it? This is season 8, the eighth and final season. I swear, I know what I'm talking about. I swear. But yeah, no. But the season has been also full of some fairly cool cameos throughout it too, like some goodbye kind of cameos too. We had the great Doug Judy. We had a really great Doug Judy episode earlier on, so that was really fun. And other things we had Pimento. I think last episode alone we had Pimento coming back. I think last episode we had Jake actually hosting one final 9-9 kind of heist, one final heist for the inner circle of the 9-9, and then with the ultimate twist that he prepared, that he was actually leaving the 9-9 too, and he was actually going to leave, and he was going to be a stay-at-home dad, and he wanted to be there for Mac, he wanted to be there for his son, and he wanted to be a stay-at-home dad while Amy then actually kind of achieved her dreams, and he wanted to help kind of motivate her and push her a bit more. So that was cool. So we had Pimento, we had Bill, we had Gina coming back in. She arose again. She returned. I think Pimento was the one I never expected. I mean, because of how much they've used Bill in the previous size, I was like, okay, that it's still cool to see, but it's still I would expect that. But then Pimento come back, I was like, wow, it's been ages. It has been absolutely just freaking ages since they've actually done anything with him. So they actually brought Jason Mantzoukas back as Pimento, so that was really fun. That was fun. I think again, seeing these kind of faces back is what really solidifies this as the final tale of the journey. So yeah, I mean, with that twist in tow, I can't wait to see exactly how he's going to reveal that news to the team, and how he's going to get his final goodbye in, and what the rest of the team is going to do, if the rest of them are going to stay behind or something, because then it's only really Scully and Charles and Terry. It's really, and I think Holt is also leaving too. I think Holt actually mentioned something about retiring in one of the earlier episodes too. So yeah, I guess we'll see. Exactly how it ends, but. Yeah, that's pretty much a pre-episodal rant, but there will be one packed in for the actual end after the reaction, so that'll be fun to get into as well. But yeah, hopefully this intro again, this intro just seems a lot messier than I actually originally wanted it to be, but hopefully it's a good enough intro. But anyway, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, season number 8, the finale, the very last episode, the absolute last ever episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So let's go. So this will be the fair use version of the reaction, just with kind of best bits and highlights and everything as always. But if you guys want to catch the full length version, you can. That one will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that one out over there. So yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the season 8 finale. Let's go.
What's up? You okay?
Are you quitting the 9-9?
Oh yeah, no. Charles found the letter. Yeah, Charles found the letter. I forgot that.
Wait,
Yeah.
Charles, wait a second.
Yeah, he
Someone's
discovered
in the
that.
market for a new best friend.
I'm gonna miss this so much. I'm actually gonna miss this. I'm actually gonna miss this so much.
Do you have a tracker implanted in his brain or something?
Amy, I would never do that. It's a serious medical procedure. Which is why I had a doctor do it 8 years ago when they were operating on organs in Charles's butt.
Smart. Stick it in his buttholes.
Oh, I was expecting more judgment from you. And definitely
Way
different
back then,
phrasing.
you
Anyways,
put
if you
trackers
get
in
the
his
vaccine, we must have the tracks,
buttholes,
so we gotta
in his
figure out
bullet
how to find
buttholes.
I am sorry about your picture
Yeah.
and your award and your computer.
And yelling that I was wearing a wig and then trying to tear out my actual hair.
Oh boy,
It's
Terry.
so thick and
Oh, Terry.
man, your age. What? But looking at this incident from a different angle, it shows why he'll make a great captain. He's here before you, owning his mistake.
I thought I was going to say he doesn't stop at anything to search for the truth, but no, mistakes, owning, accountability. Yes,
Powerful words, as are these.
he's still not gonna...
Happy heisting, suckers!
What?
Wait, what?
You're right, this was a wig.
No way. Oh, it was all still a heist. It was all still a heisting. Ah, they both got heisted.
What did you think about me and Pimento as a couple?
Oh.
Oh, is she reconsidering
I
that?
don't know. You guys always made me a little uncomfortable. There weren't a lot of boundaries.
Is this about that time we smashed in your car?
You did? Which car?
All of them. And once my dad's
Oh,
The point is,
oh,
when Aiden and I
jeez.
broke up, something felt off. I think it's because I wasn't out yet, so I couldn't really be myself with anyone. But I don't know. I always thought we would end up together. Now he's going away, and
How'd you know where I was? Because this is where you had to be. Because this is where it happened. Hey, sorry to drag you in on the weekend.
9 years ago.
I spent a few hours with my best friend.
Oh, gee, oh, the hair. Oh, that obvious wig. The obviousness of that wig.
No.
Oh.
Charles, you're my best friend too. Hey guys.
Oh, this is when they first confirmed they were best friends. Ah.
You used to live in your ex-wife's husband's basement and date 75-year-olds, and now you've got your own house, and Genevieve, and Nicolaj.
Growth.
Nicolaj.
Growth.
Nicolaj.
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 Why don't you just call him Nick?
Neek.
All right, now you're ruining
Neek.
the moment. Okay, look, whether we work together or not, we're always going to be best friends and partners. You know how you always wanted them to do a fancy best of Vena feature on us?
Yeah, but that's just for the fanciest best friends.
Turn to page 63.
Oh.
Didn't.
Got it in. Oh, damn.
We're fancy best of Venice.
Best of Venice.
Best of Venice! Open it.
Open the egg. Just smash it, yeah.
A necklace with
Oh,
a little
It
binder.
has 3 tiny tabs. One for me, one for you, and one for Mac.
Aw. It really bothers me that
That's
they're
a
not
miss.
identical, but I assume that it's functional and I can correct them.
It is in the code.
Then I
Oh,
love
you got a binder necklace. That is honestly one of the most wholesome
But I
things.
can't do that. You've done your
Honestly,
part.
one of the most wholesome
Sit back and
things.
enjoy We're not going to be anywhere near when it goes off. You control the whole thing from your phone.
How do you know when it's
Oh,
The red light
phone
switch,
remote
like
controlled
that one?
fireworks.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Set up your profile first. Why? How many
Of
times do I use the
course.
fireworks app?
Set
Start
up a
counting down.
profile.
Name,
Yep, set up an
email,
account.
Select the squares with stop signs in them. Okay,
Oh
Jake,
my
we got it.
god.
Go.
Oh,
Is a
these
stoplight a
things,
stop
yeah.
sign? Charles, is a stoplight a stop sign? I don't think both of them are. Stop. Jake, come on. All right, I'm in. Username already taken. Who would want to use Jake?
Who would want to use Jake?
Oh no.
Oh, did it go off and they all got in? They both got injured?
What's going on? I got to get back to the heist.
No, the heist. Jake, you've been in a coma for 7 years.
No way.
What?
No way. No, that is some more heisting.
A firework hit you in the head.
No way. This is some more heist prankery.
He blamed himself for what happened to you, so he left New York. He's actually the sheriff of a small town in Arizona.
Is this
His
for
town is
real?
So small, he also has to be the school principal.
Okay.
There's no way this is for real.
Actually,
You know who's going to walk through that door right now? Bruce Willis.
Oh
Jake,
god.
you woke up?
Oh,
No.
Teddy,
Amy, why is your ex-boyfriend here?
Oh, you haven't told me yet, babe?
babe.
I called you babe.
I know this is a lot.
No, this is
but
this
the
is
last
heist.
7
This is
years have
heist.
been really hard.
Heisting,
Raising back on my own,
heisting.
never knowing if you would
This
wake
is
up,
heisting.
and Teddy was a great friend to me.
Heisting. I refuse to chalk it up to anything else.
It's not her fault.
Pain?
I mean, just the pain of learning that my wife is married to another man.
Oh, we're not married. I'm just here for Amy physically.
That's worse!
Oh god.
Do some cognitive tests.
Going to find Charles, the magnet suits?
Do you remember where you hit the tube?
Yeah, inside the fake baby.
Thanks, babe.
Oh yeah, it's heister. Yeah, it's heisting.
It's not the future, is it?
No,
No.
in about 40 minutes.
Oh,
this
damn.
isn't a real hospital.
Oh. Oh, they were.
You Mission Impossible me. Oh, I'm so happy you're not having sex with Teddy!
Damn it, we're locked
Okay, that's pretty good. That was still pretty good. That was still good. Yeah.
You smashed your gigantic body through the wall.
I'm not the Kool-Aid man. I am more than my muscles, and I can prove it.
I would really love to see like a Terry-shaped hole in the door, though. Terry-shaped hole in the door of the wall.
Prefabbed months ago, and I set it up while you were looking.
Oh,
for
she
Charles.
put in great
There's a
extensions
resignation
too.
letter in my locker so Charles would find it.
The fireworks that I sold you.
Your Kristaps?
Trolltams gasmu Kristaps.
But wait, if everything was fake, what knocked me out?
Oh, chloroform. Oh, Amy, you
Charles, but there's
minx.
something I have to tell you, okay?
Oh,
I
damn.
locked Charles in his supply closet.
I have but two things to say to you. One, thank you. I've always wanted to be chloroformed. And two, how dare you?
Sorry, babe, but I play to win.
I hate how attracted I am to you right now.
So well.
That was really well done. That was
Thanks for
super
doing
duper
that,
well
Teddy.
done.
I'm really glad that we could be friends again.
Don't you dare propose, don't you dare propose, don't you dare propose, don't you dare fucking propose.
No! I am married to Jake.
And has a child with
Just
Jake.
betrayed him. You guys are obviously having issues.
No, I only betrayed him to pull off my secret plan. I am throwing him the perfect goodbye.
But if you think I'm just gonna sit around and wait for you to change your mind, you're right. I will be parked outside for 2 more hours.
You know what? I would have been completely okay if they hadn't maintained that for the finale. I would have been completely okay if they had actually just finally resolved that and had him move on. And holy crap, Melipnos!
Yeah. You
Melipnos!
played violin at my wedding. You're Melipnos.
No, my name is Jerry. Jerry Barfalotestan.
No, you're not. You're Melipnos. Melip Kleinos, but the clay is silent. The clay is silent.
Yes.
Melipnos.
Keys.
Oh my god. Oh, a chick. A little
As they
chick.
say in my country, a chickie for a key.
And what country is that again?
Honolulu.
You know, if it's all the same, I'd really just rather have the key.
You don't want chickie? I don't want key.
Oh god.
Thank you, Melipnos.
No, it's Jerry.
I feel like maybe you said it a little different the first time.
Oh god. Melipnos.
What are you doing, Scully? Everybody left the precinct and I was scared to be alone.
Oh.
Brooklyn Storage Solutions.
Wait a second.
I know this place.
Yes, this is where we worked our first case with Captain.
Oh
Holt.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
meaningful location. Tonight is my victory lap.
Oh
I planned
damn.
goodbye.
Has everyone done something? Has everyone done something nostalgic?
I texted Kevin, who retrieved the tube and handed it off to a person who lured you all here. And that person was a dog, and that dog was...
Cheddar.
Hold up.
Cheddar.
Speaking
Cheddar
of hard, make a
cheese.
great captain. The new captain of the 9-9.
Wait, what? Is this fake too? Y'all need to cut the and be honest with me. This is my life we're talking about.
You want to know if it's real?
Oh, is it like a new badge?
A bag of fish? What? No, it's supposed to be your captain's bars.
The fish are my present to Scully. They're the kind that eat the dead skin off your feet.
Oh.
We're gonna have a feast tonight.
But if I don't have the winning tube, who does?
Gina. Gina. Rosa! Rosa and Gina. Rosa and Gina.
Watch everyone else and then choose your moment. But to do that, I needed people to think I was gone. That's a trick
Yeah.
she learned from me.
Oh yeah,
During
the
fourth
fake
type,
teeth, yeah.
universally considered the best type.
So you don't want to end up with Pimento?
No, but you believed it because you all think for someone to be happy, their story has to end with marriage and kids.
I mean, I believed it because you told me and I trust you.
Whatever, breeder. Anyway, with nobody watching me, I was able to figure out what Holt was up to. A 6-month subscription to the Rosetta Stone.
It's my present for Peralta.
Your present to me is school? Glad you're leaving.
All right, who has the real tube?
I do.
Oh, Bill does. Oh, for fuck's sake, Bill, you're not.
It's your fault for ending the heist. They're my only source of income.
Oh, jeez. Does he just sell what everyone else wins? How does he gain money from this?
The associate principal cellist for the Berlin Philharmonic. She's my surprise celebrity.
Are you kidding
Oh.
me? You ruined my big goodbye to the 9-9 so we could listen to some nerd play a giant violin?
Oh, shall I begin?
No.
Wait. Did you say your goodbye to the 9-9? Where are you going?
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, boy.
I was hoping that this would be a more dramatic moment accompanied by fireworks, but
But we're kind of trapped in here.
Not for long.
Oh, Terry shaped on the
I'm
wall.
gonna Kool-Aid man us the hell out of here.
Yeah, Terry shaped on the wall.
It's not. I just find it demeaning. It's actually very easy.
Oh, he's gonna do it. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's a great thing. Terry-sized shape.
now go through that wall.
I'm not doing any more walls, Jack.
Fair enough, I had to ask. All right.
There's no one here.
Wrong, Captain.
Hitchcock's back. He came back from
The grand champion
his
of the 9-9.
retirement.
Hitchcock.
Seriously? Hitchcock?
This doesn't feel right.
Ah,
Crown me.
that's it. Just, oh, God.
Michael Hitchcock.
No
you are an
way,
amazing
come
human/genius and the grand champion of the
Hitchcock. Okay, at least Scully. Scully I could accept,
Well, because
but
that's actually butt skin from a botched hair transplant, so there are more pores.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Scully I could accept, but Hitchcock. Ah,
This whole thing did kind of turn into the squad.
To the squad.
the squad.
You just drank cement!
No way. No. That that was actually okay. Yeah, one final cement keg.
You know that I don't care if you end up with anyone or get married or whatever. I just want you to be happy.
I'm moving in with my girlfriend, Deborah. She is amazing. She makes me feel whole.
Really?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Easy.
even
No,
I
don't wanna
fell
settle
for
down.
it.
Right. I'm sorry.
Even I fell for that one. Oh
I'm so
god.
sorry.
Jeez.
It's crazy.
Ugh.
moving.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for romance. Fucking sue
Spent
me.
a lot of time here.
I'm really happy it was with you.
Same here. I love you.
I love you too.
I just took a bunch of diamonds from the evidence locker. No one ever changed the code. Anyway, toodaloo.
She's just gonna leave with Dime.
I honestly can't tell. I missed you, bud. I missed you too.
He never even left. He said he was in the beaver thing, the beaver place.
Got wing sauce on your collar. I left it there for you.
Oh boy.
On my first day here, I asked Jeffers to tell me about everyone. Told me you were a great detective, but the one thing you couldn't figure out was how to grow up.
Mhm.
Well,
That's the one case he hadn't solved.
I think you finally figured it out. Over the years, you've sometimes referred to me as something of a father figure.
Did I? I didn't realize that.
But I want you to know, if I had a son, and he had turned out like you, I would be very proud of him.
Thank you, sir. Wasn't expecting to get this emotional.
It's not bad for an old robot, huh?
Sir, did you just make a joke?
I believe I did. Yes. I guess in the end, we rubbed off on each other quite a bit.
No. Time of the sex
Time of
tape?
the sex movie. Did I do it right?
It was perfect.
Oh, even the piano tunes. Oh god. This is like the ending of Friends all over again. The ending of Friends all over again. Oh, the closing elevator doors. Oh, about a year later. Oh, what happens a year later?
The Butcher Babes. Nope, Detective Boyle and his little butcher buddy.
Oh, I like that.
Oh boy.
Sorted. Are there any questions?
Yes, I have a question. Captain Jeffers, are you ready for the Halloween heist? Did you really think I was gonna let Hitchcock win the last heist?
Yeah, that makes sense,
Crazy.
yeah.
Hitchcock? It would have been unforgivable.
That's true. It felt wrong.
Deputy Commissioner Raymond
Deputy
Holmes.
Commissioner.
He's not the only one. I'm in too.
Did everyone come back?
As am I.
No, oh, wow.
Gina
Oh.
Linetti.
We're in each other's lives forever, whether you like it or not. So, what do you say, Captain? Are we doing this?
Dice begin?
What I say is,
9-9!
9-9!
Not a doctor.
Bring me along.
Oh, sweet Christ. Okay. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. That is a TV series finale, if I have ever seen one. That is a finale, if I have ever seen one. Oh, yeah. That was a hell of a finale. That was a pitch perfect ending. That even that little kind of pre-credits, like 1 year later scene, even that was just pitch perfect. Even that was pitch perfect. I think it's the perfect way. It's the perfect way to actually end, like, close off the show, but also keep them tied together too. Like the Halloween heist has always worked to develop them all in some way and keep them bound together as a family. So it makes perfect sense to actually do that. But yeah, this finale just yeah, I mean, it really comes through with even more kind of special kind of appearances and all these kind of different moments and notes and everything. But yeah, we had what do we have? So we had Malik Nurse come back. Malik Clay Nurse, except the Clay is silent. The Clay is silent. Malik Nurse came back in, and he was, I think, I honestly can't even remember what new name he mentioned, but he mentioned something. I think the first time I mentioned him, he was Malik Nurse, and then he took the picture that Amy gave him, and the second time we saw him again, he I think Hitchcock and Scully were sent out on a mission to find to find new band members, I think, because the band originally booked for Amy and Jake's wedding had cancelled or something. So then they were sent out on a mission to find new music players, and then they actually ran into Malik Nose in a subway playing music. So they hired him, and then he pretended not to know Amy or Jake, and then he played the violin back then too. So yeah, so his actor came back and did a spot on job with the chickie for the key and stuff. So that was really fun. Malik Nose, just iconic, just iconic. So that was fun. The one thing, bringing him back, I get, because he's one of the oldest characters in the show, and he had a hell of an impact on Jake and Amy. But you know what? Right? I think I would have expected that by now they would have actually given his character some kind of development, wherein it's like he finally resolves his own kind of his own connection issues. Of course I'm talking about Teddy. I'm talking about Teddy. Him coming back in, I can kind of accept, because again it's the final thing. Bringing back some familiar faces, it's expectable. It's very much expectable. They even did Caleb the cannibal in prison in the last episode. He was back in this too, so that was a really cool cameo again. But with Teddy, bringing him back, I get, but I would have expected that they should bring him back in a way that doesn't again make you want to just sigh the biggest sigh of exhaustion you've ever sighed in your life, because again he's still clinging to the hope that Amy will at the very last minute change her mind and want to marry. Even now when she's married to Jake and has an amazing child with him and everything, even after she's reached that stage of her relationship with Jake, he's still kind of clinging on to that kind of hope and everything. So I guess it's classic Teddy behavior, but then I think it would also be nice to know that he actually finally has moved on and he has just a little bit more self-respect. But again, I guess that's Teddy. I really just guess that's Teddy. So he's still clinging on to that. But the way he came back to, I think the entire time I was counting so hard, because I think I would not have imagined that they would actually do some kind of a time jump until the very end, which they did. But then even then, the coma that they set up was meant to be 7 years ahead in time. But then the actual Halloween heist thing was actually 1 year later, which made a lot more sense. But the coma thing, I was calling heist tomfoolery on that from the beginning. I was calling BS on that from the beginning. Just the more they went on, and I think Amy didn't even look like she really aged. I was actually looking for grey for grey hairs, or for maybe, because again, if her husband goes into a coma and she's left to look after Mac on her own, then that kind of stress would produce some grey hair. So I think I was actually kind of keeping a lookout for that, but I didn't really kind of see a lot going on there and everything. So just that entire scenario just kind of reeked of heist material and heist kind of hijinks and everything. So and then as soon as Teddy walked in, I was like, okay, this has got to be something else entirely. But that was pulled off. That plan was ingeniously mastered by Amy, so props to her for that. Props to her. And then I think Hitchcock actually came. Hitchcock. I think he mentioned never having fully retired in the first place, or at least he may mention that he never properly went all the way to Brazil in the first place. He was at like a beaver palace or beaver hut or something, some beaver place and stuff. So he was I think maybe just kind of lucky enough to have some kind of background, or go to a nearby more exotic kind of park or something, and then just take some video calls from there and have a donkey nearby. So easy enough to acquire, even if he Hitchcock. But then that final win, I think that last official win being Hitchcock, Scully, I could stomach. Scully winning, that would be sweet, and that would be kind of cool, because then people have I think a lot of people have kind of theorized for the final season, at least the very last kind of Halloween heist of the show, actually kind of coming full circle and actually being won by Hitchcock and Scully themselves, after everyone else had their chance. And I think last season it was Rosa. I think last season it was actually Rosa with the infinitude god black, actually start getting all the stones and sitting there smiling when everyone else actually bickered amongst themselves and everything. So that was a really cool win. That was a top-notch win. But Hitchcock winning it just doesn't sit doesn't sit too right with me at all. Again, Scully winning it, I can just about stomach it. Scully winning, I can actually just about believable, also just about stomach it too. But Hitchcock winning it just doesn't seem right, and even for him at the end, he said that it didn't feel right. So yeah, and then all sorts of other twists and turns, like Gina coming in and doing this, that, and the other, and the fake interview being set up by Holt too. Well, technically fake, because I mean he did still kind of recommend Terry for the actual captain job, and he did still get him the job, and he still did actually get him that promotion. So then he became captain, and then I think Holt became deputy commissioner, and then I think Amy was a sergeant. I think Amy actually was previously sergeant. But I think she also got like another promotion this season, which I can't remember exactly what it was. I think even it was even actually like a thing like a few episodes ago, she was actually due to give a presentation, actually try and actually hit that promotion mark. So it was like a fairly big kind of thing for her. So. And yeah, I mean the episode was kind of following people, like everyone trying to everyone trying to give each other their final goodbyes. Like I think Jake giving Scully the fish that eat dead skin off the feet, and I think it was Holt hiring the violin player off the Berlin Philharmonics thing as well. Like I think these were all kind of references from previous seasons, like from early seasons. I think Holt has definitely mentioned the Berlin Philharmonics thing before. Don't know if he's mentioned that specific kind of violin player, but he's definitely mentioned the Philharmonics before. And I think the skin with the dead fish thing. I think that the fish that eat the dead skin thing. I think that's also something that I think either Jake or Scully has mentioned before. So all these things being references was actually really cool, like really cool callbacks and all kinds of nostalgic kind of like placements within the episode and everything, and just I think it all building up with each other, and I think even Terry saying like what got in the way of like getting what got in the way of Jake trying to find the perfect goodbye. It was everyone actually trying to do the perfect goodbye, and I think the slow progression of everyone actually finding out that he was actually going to leave, and then ultimately him actually revealing that in the story and in the storage unit too. Was really well done. So yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, so then I think realistically then, because I mean Holt and I think it's actually it's Holt and Amy who aren't directly in the 99th precinct, but they definitely do still work within the NYPD. They have much higher kind of almost like head office kind of roles, but then. Boyle is still a detective. He's been a detective for 8 full seasons. He's still a detective now. And then Terry finally made it from sergeant to captain, so that was a cool thing. And then I think Hitchcock and Scully. I can't remember if they were there, but no, they were there. They definitely were there. But then they just kind of. They enjoy their kind of lowly kind of positions within 99, and they actively cherish it, and they actively cherish not having to go out into the field or anything. So they're at peace. They are at peace. And then yeah, that final conversation too. I think Rosa actually using the. I think I was genuinely believing that she was actually reconsidering a relationship with Pimento, because then her reasoning back then also seemed really plausible, like her not really being fully comfortable in a relationship until she came out to herself, and then also until she came out to everyone else in the 992. And again, one of my all-time kind of favorite storylines too, like Rosa coming out as bisexual and her coming out to like the team, and then also like the unarguably more kind of emotional kind of side effect of that being her coming out to her parents too. And I mean, her dad's played by Danny Trejo, so that alone is just like now we know where at least half the intimidation of Rosa Diaz comes from. But she came out to her parents. I think Game Night, easily one of the most emotional and heart-wrenching and for a lot of people relatable kind of stories that B99 has done. And I think a lot of it in part 2, Stephanie Beatrice herself also kind of going through those kind of similar struggles and eventually coming out herself and actually being able to play like that kind of story and that kind of character kind of so authentically and everything. And Rosa has been the ultimate kind of icon for years on end. Like since then she's been the ultimate kind of icon and everything. So seeing her grow through that has been really great. I think again her reasoning definitely kind of seemed super plausible then too, because then maybe then after coming out as bi, maybe then coming to that realization, actually accepting herself and being out and proud in that way, maybe that would actually help her kind of reconsider or kind of pursue a relationship with Pimento. Because I think her relationship with Pimento, I think it kind of, I think from my kind of experience, it's kind of left the fandom somewhat divisive. Like people, like some people didn't really like Pimento, so they just thought he was weird and didn't really kind of need to be around, and others actually enjoyed. I mean, personally, I enjoyed him. I thought he was a fairly kind of hilarious kind of character, and they definitely kind of had like that pretty immediate kind of vibe, kind of he almost immediately passed that kind of vibe check thing with Rosa. And I think even before she came out, she like she still like, you know, even without her bisexuality coming into discussion and that, like she still said that, you know, he was her type, like she was into those kinds of crazy / kind of creepy dudes, and then she was attracted to him, like you know, similar to the Vulture. And I think she actually mentioned like a TV show character one time, like I can't really recall right now, but she, you know, like explicitly said to Jake that she's actually, you know, like when it comes to guys, she's attracted to those kinds of guys. So, you know, her and Pimento, I think easily, like her and Pimento is easily a relationship that I feel like, you know, I think especially now if they actually do get back together, then I think they could probably still find a way to make it work, and then they could probably still find a way to actually make it kind of look good and feel good and feel somewhat more plausible. Because I think even when they were together, they were like, they were still like a really adventurous and like almost like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith type of couple too, just a little bit with how kind of intimidating and like equally kind of crazy they both were. So yeah, but then in the end it turns out that that's just literally it's literally just Rosie using Amy's kind of love of romantics and happy endings against her and everything. And even at the very end, like her being like, oh, I found I found an amazing woman named Debbie, and she feels so whole and welcome, and she, you know, I'm gonna move in with her, and it's like, oh my god, it's way too easy. Like even I fell for that. Even I, like, you know, me being like the sucker for romantics that I am, very similar to Amy. I definitely wholeheartedly fell for that. I thought, oh great, she's found herself like a new partner to share life with. And nope, it's just literally just another way to throw that kind of sappiness in Amy's face and everything. So yeah, but I mean, hey, you know, if Rosa is also equally happy being on her own and just being like a nice, happy single woman, then, you know, absolutely all the more power to her. You know, I think Rosa has definitely just kind of mastered both elements too. Like she's had rocky relationships in the past, and she's kind of had, you know, hits and misses with certain people. But I think even like by herself as well. No, I don't know who's gonna find a pun in that, but if you do, then you know what? Pun intended. Fuck it. Pun intended. But yeah, I mean, even when she's by herself, she still aces it. She still absolutely aces it. So yeah, but yeah, no, yeah. So she still is like happily single and happily kind of just, you know, but yeah, that's easily been one of my absolute favorite things about the show too. I think it's like the show's ability to handle sexuality and like LGBTQ plus kind of storylines too has been really good. I think them having like straight up in the pilot too, actually introducing Holt as the NYPD's first kind of openly gay and black kind of commissioner as well, like him, captain, even not commissioner, captain. That's not for a good few seasons, but captain. That was really cool, and I think, you know, like Holt is easily just one of the most entertaining characters in all of kind of sitcom history, or all of sitcom history, and he's easily one of the the funniest, you know, and like, you know, he his relationship with Kevin too is one of the most wholesome things. Like they definitely, I think the same way that Adrian and Rosa kind of pass the vibe check with each other, I think it's a lot more certified with Holt and Kevin. It's so much more certified and so much more, you know, has so much more certainty to it that they are literally made for each other, which was then why it broke my heart going into this final season, knowing that then Kevin and due to personal and professional reasons, Kevin and Holt had decided to separate, but then halfway through the season, they then not only get back together, But then they renew their vows. They then renew their vows, which was honestly like one of the sweetest things that they've done in this show. So, you know, saving that kind of thing for the final season, especially because, you know, like even calling back to their original marriage when they just didn't know when gay marriage was going to get struck down, so they just literally just kind of, you know, like half-assed the actual kind of vows and the speech and everything, and they just like rushed straight into getting like officially married and everything. So this time, knowing, you know, years ahead in the future, like, you know, gay marriage wasn't going anywhere, they could still get happily gay married and have the gayest of wedding vows and everything. So they went ahead and renewed them, and it was a beautiful moment. So it was just like a really, really beautiful moment. So yeah, and I think you might notice. I didn't get this in preparation for this. I just kind of got this like just to hang up there because it looks cool, and it's also like one of my favorite quotes from the show, and you know, it being like also connected to Rosa's coming out story too. Captain Holt's speech towards Rosa. Every time someone steps up and says who they are, the world becomes a better and more interesting place. So easily one of the best lines in the show, one of my favorite quotes, and one of the most kind of heartfelt and heartwarming kind of lines towards Rosa that Captain Holt gives, like in response to her finding herself in a less than ideal situation with her family after having come out. And I think that ending too, like actually Jake actually bringing the whole squad together for the game night was just, can't tell you how much my heart swelled watching everyone come in with games and snacks and drinks and warmth and heart and love and everything. That was just really great. And it also, it's not just a cool post, it's not just a cool quote, but it also stands in agreement and in accordance with the channel too. No matter who you are, no matter how you identify, you are always welcome on the channel. You are always welcome on the channel. You know, and whatever labels you go, even if you're unlabeled, then that's also super cool. But yeah, you're welcome on the channel, always and forever. So, yeah. And yeah, I think the show has handled equally kind of, you know, I think equally like sensitive, like real world topics within, like especially with them working within like the police force too. There's just, you know, I mean all the time, but I think especially in terms of actually making the headlines and everything, actually more recent times too. I think unarguably the one that like the one that really no one can actually forget is the Moo episode, in which Terry is racially profiled by a fellow officer, and he's kind of put under that kind of spotlight that he really doesn't want to be under, and that kind of pressure, and he just kind of shown exactly what could happen to him, you know, because of, you know, who he is, because of what he is, and especially like for him, like, you know, I think, you know, like and his speech in that episode to Captain Holt too is also like a great deal. Like to this day, I really can't rewatch that scene without like my eyes welling up and without getting like a lump in my throat or anything. So, you know, I think that like that whole scene too, and especially I think I actually do remember reading somewhere that like Terry Crews himself actually did have experiences like that in his own personal life, like in his early years. So he actually did draw a lot of that from there too, and he's just kind of been through like quite a bit in general in terms of like harassment and assault and everything. So they've had that. So they've had the Moo episode, which was just, it's again I think easily one of the best in terms of the story they do, and in terms of the topic that they actually tackle, but then also like in terms of actual story, in terms of character, it's also like one of the most impactful and one of the most emotional ones too. So there's that one, and then the he said she said episode 2. That one really kind of just hit me like a ton of bricks, and knowing what Amy's gone through as well, and how connected and dedicated she was to that case, and making sure that the woman could actually see justice without you know, going through the hell that, you know, the people would have actually dragged her through, and then actually like hearing about her story from her story, like her telling Jake like her truth in the end about her previous captain who, you know, tried things and everything. Like this show has never failed to take, like, I think again it's fairly fair to say it hasn't explored everything out there, but then what it has explored, it has done so in a very in like a way that you can appreciate, in a way that you can admire, in a way that you can relate to, in a way that people can relate to in different ways, and in a way that feels kind of authentic and feels appropriate and feels very like reflective of how those situations are actually presented in the real world too. So it's honestly like done a great. It's done the best possible job I can imagine as a comedy show. So I like for it being a comedy, when it turns serious, it does so with such a grace and poise, and it does so without skipping a beat. It doesn't really use any of that kind of sincerity or any of that maturity for any kind of comedy beats or any kind of like turning of like tables or anything like that. Like it literally does kind of actually take some time to actually turn more human and turn more vulnerable and everything. And I think that's what like people can really appreciate about the show as well. And I think in terms of the comedy too, it's just like the comedy itself has been like, you know, like I think to this day I still hear people saying like, you know, oh, like you can never really have like an authentic show, like, and like you can never really have like an authentic remake of Friends today because the jokes of then wouldn't really pass off for today. And it's like, that is true, and that is what makes Friends a product of its time. Like back then, that kind of humor was seen as socially acceptable, but then even then, that kind of humor wasn't really. It was at least partially humor. Like I think not all of it can really be counted as humor because like some of what they considered humor was literally just you know, punching down and, you know, just kind of like using mockery of people and stuff. But when Brooklyn Nine-Nine actually uses like actual laughable humor and actually does poke fun at people in like a friendly way, and actually does poke fun at like different kind of topics in like a laughable way, that actually does kind of like, it actively does try not to kind of, you know, like hit people where it hurts, but actually it actually does try to be funny in a way that you know, like the majority of people can actually understand it and relate to it and everything. So I think, you know, like as a comedy show, it works so just as it should. But then as like it turning slowly, I think I'd say the drama kind of became more prominent later on down the line too. But then I think it definitely is arguable that the drama in early seasons was also visible, and it was also kind of very present. But then it wasn't really kind of as it wasn't incorporated as much. But then like from like the middle of the show downwards, it actually did kind of start to get a bit more heavier and like a bit more kind of shows that were necessary, topics and stuff that were actually necessary at the time and actually necessary for the characters and all the different things they were going through, or just all sorts of different topics too, and you know, all sorts of different kind of character dilemmas that really kind of make you feel for the characters and make you actually kind of drawn into the story and actually make you kind of like want to see where it all goes and how it makes you feel. And I think, yeah, just Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it's kind of definitely one of the shows that has changed my life and definitely kind of you know, brought me along for like a joyride that I'm never going to forget and I'm always going to cherish and everything. I think, and it's because of the creator of these two shows being, I think, one and the same person too. I think it's also kind of comparable in that sense to The Good Place too. The Good Place is also like an equally brilliant kind of comedy drama show too. I think with that one too, like, you know, it kind of combining comedy and philosophy and human morality and all those kind of things into one show was just like such a genius kind of idea. So with this one, I think that one also is created by, I think, Dan Gore or Dan Shore or something. I think I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure how the actual names are. I think they are both created by one and the same person too. So yeah, The Good Place was great. The Good Place. I really wish I reacted to the finale of The Good Place. I really do kind of wish I actually reacted to the finale of The Good Place and did something for that. But alas, I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it in my own time. But yeah, but I'm glad I got to do this. I'm very glad I actually got to do this anyhow and actually react to Brooklyn Nine-Nine's finale and actually kind of share my thoughts on this and talk about what it means to me. And I think, you know, and also like the diversity of the cast too is actually so fleshed out and, you know, so so appreciable. Is that a word? I think is appreciable a word, or it's definitely something you can appreciate, and it's definitely something that you can actually respect and understand and enjoy. And it's like, you know, I think, you know, like diversity in casting is, you know, like gets met with all sorts of backlash nowadays. Like as soon as like a new character is announced, there's going to be someone who's not straight or white or cis or whatever. Then it's just like, oh my god, just give me a good story and a good character. I don't care what, you know, this, that, or the other is. But then, you know, this show goes to show that, you know, like, you know, you do not need a kind of cookie cutter cast to actually make a show work. You can throw in like a bunch of people from all different walks of life, and they will not only get along, but they will deliver some great stories and help you make some amazing memories and everything. So the cast for this show has been phenomenal. The casting for this show has been phenomenal. Andy Samberg, Melissa Fumero, Jolo Trulio, Terry Crews, Andre Brower, Stephanie Beatriz. I know what her name is. What's her name? Chelsea Peretti, and I know Hitchcock and Scully's names too. Dirk Blocker and Joel McKinnon Miller. Yeah, I know all their names. I know all the fucking names. I love them all. They've all been great. They have all been just beyond great. And they have made this show exactly as good as it is and exactly what it is. And then they've just created some amazing characters too. They've done some amazing work with the characters and actually created icons. And they have made it possible for me to not only want to do a rewatch, but also actually look forward to doing a rewatch of the season from the series from start to finish, and actually explore the series for like the second time over again. But yeah, I think honestly, my first memory of Brooklyn Nine-Nine is actually ironic enough, because I think my first time watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine was not even as a cop show, because when I first I first came across Brooklyn Nine-Nine channel surfing late at night or something, or like in the evening at some point, and like a random Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode was actually playing on it. I think I can't remember exactly what season. I can't remember exactly what season it was. I think it might have been season 3. I think it was the Coral Palms one. It was actually the Coral Palms. I think opened with Holt and Jake being Greg and Larry under Witsec in Florida, like them being there. And it opened with that, so like I had no idea it was actually like a cop show, and they're actually police officers undercover, like in witness protection. And I think I literally thought it was like two guys living in Florida, you know, disagreeing on most stuff and getting up to hijinks, but then actually revealed that they're actually police officers undercover. And I was like, okay, this is very new. Like this seems like there definitely feels like it's actually halfway through like a season, or like halfway through like his run or something. So then I actually looked it up online and then found out, it's actually that kind of a show. So that then like that one episode, like the first Coral Palms episode was what prompted me to actually properly give Brooklyn Nine-Nine a watch. And since then, I am so much more than happy to announce zero regrets, zero zilch, nada regrets, no regrets whatsoever. It has been one of the funniest and one of the most impactful and emotional shows I've ever seen, and I think I would not, trade for anything. I think I would probably give almost anything to go back and experience it like a second time around, like fresh, like actually, forget everything and rewatch it again, and maybe that way I could do some reactions. I think that would be really fun. Maybe that way I can actually do some reactions to it, but alas, a deneuralizer from Men in Black doesn't exist, so that won't be as possible. But again, I'm glad I got to do a reaction to the series finale and everything, so this is my one kind of conduit and my one way to share thoughts and everything. So yeah, it's been great exploring all. I'm still thinking of all the different kind of topics that the show has actually handled, like Terry being a father of two amazing girls, and him, being this. I think Terry kind of being like almost being like a Black Thor of sorts, like him actually being this super buff man that you'd expect to be kind of big and masculine and intimidating, but then deep down he's just like he's a loving father of two girls who hangs out with them all the time and teaches them all sorts of things and helps them with all sorts of things. And him being that kind of character was really, really fun to see. And I think I've seen endless kind of posts online about people appreciating them making him that kind of character, like who could easily be like someone who's really masculine and over kind of protective or whatever, but no, he just kind of appreciates his girls as they are and hopes they achieve great things, and he works to make sure that they can actually have great opportunities in the future. And I think that's what makes his movement speech even more emotional, because in that speech he does talk about how he can only ever hope and pray that his daughters don't ever kind of fall victim to the same kind of stereotyping and profiling and danger that he did at the hands of the other officers, and then he is just like a great, like a beyond great kind of father to them. And Charles himself becomes a father too. I mean, he tries so hard to actually try and have like kids of his own, but then that doesn't really happen thanks to Agatha. It was Eleanor all along. It was Eleanor all along. I think even the Brooklyn Nine-Nine Twitter account actually posting the memes of Eleanor after it was actually revealed that she was Agatha on WandaVision. That was just some great timing. That was just like really well timed kind of posting too. Like so I think that was also when I was actually pleasantly reminded, like, oh shit, Catherine Hahn was actually on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She was Eleanor. She was the destroyer of worlds and everything. So there was that, but then she got rid of his sperm and everything. So then he actually went down the path of adoption, and he adopted Nikolaj, and then he became a great father too. He became an absolute one of a kind, kind of dedicated and loving and wholesome father to Nikolaj. And he would constantly do whatever it took to keep his son happy, to keep him safe, and to keep him kind of comfortable, and to keep him kind of like just at peace and everything. And especially like him being so far from home and him being in like a new country with a new family, like he wanted Nikolaj to actually kind of be okay and then to be safe and be happy in like a new country with with this family, and then to show that like he may not be his father, but he's still his dad and he still wants to take care of him like that. So that whole kind of like adoption storyline with Charles and Nikolaj has been great to consume. And we've had all sorts of celebrity cameos on this show, but then the one thing we've never properly had is actually Bruce Willis. I'm actually still kind of annoyed that they never got to go full circle with the Bruce Willis thing. I'm like even Jake mentioning Bruce Willis in this, and then Teddy being the one to the door. Just talk about disappointment. But they've had Bill Hader, they've had Danny Trejo being Rose's dad. They've had what's his name? I had him on tip of my tongue. They had J.K. Simmons. They had J.K. Simmons coming in for an episode. He was really fun. They've had I think Craig Robinson as Doug Judy has been really fun. He has been so much fun. He's been really fun. We had there was someone else I was going to mention. I think someone fairly recent-ish. I think, who was it? I think I was actually going to mention someone. I think like an actual cool celebrity cameo. God, who was it? I think we've had Nathan Fillion. He came in. I think there's like another actual role. There's another actor I was actually thinking of that they actually brought in. I can't remember who it was. It just all these other actors are popping into my head, and the one name actually. The one name I'm actually trying to think of just refuses to come to mind right now. I can't remember. I genuinely had an actor's name in mind, like for someone who's appeared on the show. But now that name is gone, I'm just kind of thinking of all the other people they brought on. But they've had an endless list of really awesome and well done celebrity cameos and celebrity appearances and episodal kind of appearances and everything. So that's been really fun. Actually, just kind of getting random people on the show to do various roles and do various stories. So that's been really cool. And I think Jake, like Captain Holt mentioned in this one, Jake has really grown. He's really matured, like so vividly and so visibly and so much throughout the entire show. Like literally starting off as this kind of man-child cop who's just kind of living off of this kind of pseudo glory, kind of like these like pseudo kind of glory days of like based off of like the Die Hard movie, like him. Like I think he probably didn't mention at one point that he actually became a cop because of Die Hard, but then his favorite movie of all time is Die Hard. So I think it's plausible to think that was his inspiration. But then he, kind of just gloriously fawns over that movie, and he just kind of like sees himself as this kind of almighty, like not necessarily almighty, but he sees himself as that kind of hero cop that kind of gets the job done and saves the day while everyone else stands around and watches, and he envisions himself as that kind of action movie hero and everything. So like to see him evolving from that to being like an actual hero in so many other different ways, and actually helping people and actually creating these bonds and making all these memories, and like building this family within the 9-9 has been one of the best stories to actually watch, and to see him like fighting for his family, fighting for his friends, and actually fighting for them, fighting for their kind of honor and like their kind of love and friendship and everything else has been just one of the best things, and to see him kind of grow into this kind of unapologetically human and loving and wholesome kind of man is just, it's just so great. I think I think a good portion of the show also kind of showcased how afraid he was of actually becoming like his own dad, like him having abandonment issues with his father kind of led him to believe for almost his entire life that he never wanted kids, because he just was so afraid of actually turning into his father and actually abandoning his own son. But then now he's literally now he's gone from fearing that to then actually letting go of his job so that he can actually stay at home full time to actually look after his own son. So Jake Peralta is just one of a kind. Then Amy too. Amy's come so far from being a detective to facing all kinds of different trials and tribulations and struggles, and her I think maybe like besides from the he said she said one, one of the other bigger, I think perhaps one of the other equally big episodes being the one where we had Lin-Manuel Miranda coming in and playing her brother David, and him being the perfect kind of golden poster child and everything, the one that accompanies everything, and the child, the parents are endlessly proud of everything. But then Amy kind of struggling to compete for their kind of affections, and then that same kind of pride. But then she's now come and she's made all these new different kinds of strides and waves and all these new accomplishments and everything. So she has come really far from actually kind of being in that position to now actually earning her way up the ladder and actually getting a new position. So Amy has been great. Rosa, her coming out has been just a hell of a storyline to consume, and a hell of a storyline to actually kind of understand and relate to and everything. And it's just been seeing how Stephanie has actually portrayed that character in such a unique and wholesome and kind of memorable kind of way has been really great. And even outside of that, her actually having different kind of struggles with herself and with her friends, and actually kind of, I think her eventually kind of going from this kind of starting off she actually had a higher pitched voice and so much more of an intimidating kind of demeanor, so much more of an intimidating vibe. But then as the series goes on, her voice gets deeper, and then she's still intimidating as all hell, which is amazing. But then she also actually does kind of grow closer with the team, and she actually kind of does find this new family within the team that accepts her completely, and actually still finds her terrifying as she loves them for it and everything. And seeing her develop into that has just been nothing short of just fucking glorious. So Stephanie Beatriz, I genuinely can't imagine it anyone else playing Rosa Diaz as fluidly or as as perfectly or as memorably as iconically or anything. So hats off to Stephanie for actually creating Rosa Diaz and for gracing us with her presence and everything. That's just been amazing. It's been amazing. And yeah, Holt has been phenomenal. He's been phenomenal. I think Andre Braugher too. I think I hadn't really seen him in anything else besides from one of the Fantastic Four movies. He was in one of the Fantastic Four movies, and he definitely wasn't a police officer there, but he also definitely wasn't as funny in that one, with good reason too. But with this one, Andre Braugher created easily one of the funniest characters in television history. Just one of the best and one of the funniest too. Like Holt and his you know what? I'm gonna make a recommendation. Go make sure you're clocking into Blind Waves Brooklyn Nine-Nine reactions, because then those fellas just absolutely lose it. None more so than Rick, but those fellas absolutely just fucking lose it any time Holt delivers one of his iconic jokes. So they get him. But yeah, no. Holt is just his delivery, his linguistics, his delivery, his whole demeanor, his formality, it's played for laughs, but again, not in a way that's even actually poking fun at him. It's just how he is, and he kind of uses that a lot of it to his advantage too. And Andre Braugher just plays him to say that Andre Braugher plays him to perfection would be an understatement. He really kind of actually does get to know the character more and more as time goes on. He really kind of like you really see that, you know, Andre himself has actually personified and actually built that character around himself. Like yet another case where not really any other person could have actually played Holt to the same kind of standard, and he just kind of delivers all these different great monologues and all these different great moments, and he's just like he just gets along with almost everyone, like not immediately Peralta, but then over time that like seeing that relationship kind of blossom into something beautiful is one of the best gifts that the show's given us. And also straight Holt easily. My God, that is like straight Holt is hysterical. He is hysterical. Just like I think not just the fact that straight Holt is a persona they created, but then also like Holt's idea of what a heterosexual version of him would be, because you know, and it's like, and also I think also like an actual straight Holt too, because I think he knows that Charles is I think he likely maybe like assumes that Charles is straight. Jake, there's, you know, conversations being had, there's discussions being had, so let those discussions be had. He knows that Charles is straight, or at least he presumes and stuff like that. That's never really been explored, and it's like probably just kind of safe enough to presume. But you know, I think he has had like, you know, like, and again, actually starting as like an openly gay and black detective in like Law Enforcement 2, he knows exactly what straight guys are like. He's come across countless of them, he's met countless of them, he's been harassed by countless of them, and I think so he knows exactly what a straight person is. But then this is his interpretation of what a straight version of him would be like, and it's like, which is even more ironic, given that like he himself, like him being gay, like the gay version of himself is nothing like is nothing like what the straight version. Like the straight version of himself is just obsessed with talking about, you know, sexual activity and intimacy with women, and like, you know, just like his terminology of like large female heavy breasts, and you know, like just all sorts of terminology that would just kind of be like, you know what, don't worry, I am 100%, you know, heterosexual Holt, and you know, you can call me heterosexual and Holt, and you can call me heterosexual Holt and everything. Like he goes out of his way to remind people like, yeah, I'm straight 100%. So you know, like that being his interpretation of what like an actual straight version of himself would be like is honestly just like one of the funniest things that the writers and Andre have given us. But then, you know, as a regular old Captain Raymond Holt himself, he is nothing if not an icon. He's nothing if not an icon who loves playing the gay card. So, well, he played the gay card like one time and then delivered like a snap so iconic that even Thanos wouldn't be able to, you know, rival it. So yeah, just so much I love about the show. So much I love about the show. And this finale topped it all off. This finale was the cherry on top of a very, 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 very large cake that I would happily eat. Maybe not in one sitting, or maybe just one sitting with like some breaks in between. But it's a cherry on top of a very large cake that I would happily eat to my heart's content, and you know, then happily snack on the cherry after. But yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You gotta go check it out. I mean, if you haven't already seen it, I don't know what you're doing here. But if you have seen it, then you know, go watch it again. Like a rewatch of a show never hurts. Rewatch of a show never hurts, and especially a rewatch of this show would never hurt either. You know, so definitely cherish this show for all it's worth, and remember it for all it's worth, and actually remember what it's done, and remember what it's accomplished, and remember what it's actually provided for fans and viewers alike, and all that kind of jazz. But it's been really great. It's been really great. I'm really kind of actually just kind of digging around in my head, like is there anything else that I've forgotten to mention? Anything else I could mention? Anything else that might be worth mentioning? I'm not too sure. I think everything I wanted to mention, I feel like I've already mentioned and talked about. Just kind of all the characters and the stories, and like just how good the show is overall. So that might be enough. But yeah, after this, I think probably not straight after this, but at some point after this, I will definitely be going back into a rewatch of the entire series from start to finish, and actually re-experiencing it with, you know, semi-experienced eyes of the show, so it'll be fun to see any other details I missed out on and seeing what else I could have actually kind of could have caught on, or just re-experiencing kind of funnier and more memorable moments from the show earlier on too. So that'll be fun. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've got from this one. So thank you guys all for being here, for watching this finale, watching this one reaction video I've done for Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it being the finale. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed it, and I'm hoping you guys can you know, absolutely feel free to share your own thoughts and talk about what this show means to you and how it made you feel and how you felt kind of hearing that, you know, this was the last season, and how you feel about how it ended, if you enjoyed the ending, if you didn't, you know, any thoughts you have on it, if you have any thoughts on what the kind of potential future might hold, if you'd like to see some kind of like a remake or like a sequel or something to the show in some way in the future, like maybe like a reunion, but I think that would need to be years ahead in time and everything, so that's the thing. But any, like, whatever your thoughts are on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, be it the show or the finale, absolutely feel free to share them and everything. But yeah, that is pretty much all there is from me. So I love this show, I love this finale, and I'm really glad I got the chance to share my emotions and my feels and my thoughts with you all. So yeah, 9-9. But yeah, that is pretty much it. So that was my official reaction to the Brooklyn Nine-Nine series finale. So as always, thank you guys so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn the crap out of that like button. Comment on what you thought of the finale and what you enjoyed from this finale, and what you enjoyed from the show, any memories you have, any kind of stories that you can relate to, any kind of stories that you feel like the show actually authentically and accurately portrayed, and that you felt kind of hit close to home, and then how you think they did, and who your favorite characters are, and what your favorite kind of stories are and everything. So my favorite, Rosa and maybe Rosa and Amy. Rosa, I think, definitely Rosa. Rosa's definitely Rosa, but I don't know, maybe Rosa and Amy. Amy, I've always kind of like felt somewhat kind of similar to her with her kind of dorkiness and her nerdiness and everything. Like she's just a little bit like she's undeniably a lot smarter than I am, but you know, maybe her. I think Jake, I don't really know. I really don't feel like a main character when I imagine myself in this show, so probably not Jake. But I think maybe Rosa, definitely Rosa, but maybe also like a little bit of Amy on the side too. So yeah, but I mean, you know, like whoever your favorite characters are, whoever you relate to the most and everything, do absolutely let me know in the comments, and I'll, you know, look forward to reading them. And yeah, I think the full-length reaction for the episode, like I said, over on Patreon, you can go check that out over there. That would be just as much fun. But yeah, that is it. That was the end of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So yeah, that is it. So yeah, I will see you guys next time.